When the guy was playing shallow left.
You know how you guys are going offensively. You've been through this. How do you keep these guys just to keep just playing the game guys play?
It's at the point of the season where uh motivation is no longer a thing. You know, you come into the season, it's easy to be motivated. But you can't rely on motivation. You got to rely on discipline and doing the boring stuff. And we did a really good job of riding out some momentum, doing some discipline things. And right now, we have a young group that's responding to being such a good team. And when you're such a good team, you got teams like the Tigers that are saving pitchers to face us. You have teams really game planning for us, coming in with everything they got. And we're right now figuring out how we're going to respond to that. And it's not happening as quickly as we want, but I feel like we're still playing a version of our baseball. It's just not leading to wins right now. But it's now our job to remember that it's allowed to be boring. We're allowed to do the same thing every day. There's not this crazy recipe to change things, to start winning ball games. It's not like, there's not a secret recipe to have a game plan to go beat someone offensively. You go face a pitcher and you have a plan. But when 9 guys have a plan and do it together, it's really hard to beat us. Right now, we got a lot of guys, I think, putting a lot of pressure on themselves. Everybody wants to be the guy that turns this around. And that's why we're great. And I love that from our guys. I want them to want that. But now we got to lean on discipline a little bit and be like, I don't need to be that guy. I need to execute my plan in the box. When I'm pitching, I need to execute my pitches. And that is it. When you execute your pitches on the mound, execute your plan in the box, you play fundamental defense, you run the bases, tend to win some ball games. It's really simple, doesn't make it easy, but it's not complicated. We just got to get back to doing that.
Can you take us through that play at the plate? Did you have the tag when it wasn't overturned there?
Yeah, I thought so. I was thinking maybe he might have got his hand in. Didn't seem that way, but one of those things you just move on from.
So the individual pressure that young guys are putting on themselves in a stretch like this, how do you make sure everybody knows what you just said? How do you know when to say something, whether it's a team meeting or you just need to go person to person?
We've already talked about it. It's not like some big meeting needs to happen. We've already been talking about it. We don't wait till now to have these conversations. When we lose a game, we talk about it. We identify what's going on. It doesn't mean we're going to go win the game that day. We've had great meetings. We've had great responses from guys. Guys are aware of this, but now it's about actually doing it in the game. And it's going to turn. It's just one of those stretches that our guys are now knowing, okay, we talk about it. But it's one thing to talk about. It's another thing to do it. And we just got to continue to talk about it, continue to pull for each other, and not get bored with doing and saying the same thing. There's not some crazy game plan in the box that makes you a better hitter versus, some complicated thing. It's very simple. You swing at good pitches, you take the bad ones. So it's not like we have to reinvent something new. We just have to go out and execute it.
Game back in May against the Mets where you dropped down a bunt and well timed, sort of sparked the rally there. Mets came back and won. Were you thinking maybe if I can sort of repeat that same thing with situation that?
Yeah, I mean, if the third baseman's playing on outfield grass, I'm probably going to bunt every single time. As long as if it's there, I'm very confident in my bunting. Also, we're facing one of the best pitchers in the world, so I thought there was a better chance of me laying a bunt down than getting a hit right there. And and then ideally get that third baseman now to play me even with the bag. And now if I hit a bullet down the line, I got a better chance at hitting a double.
What do you think of Carlos?
I thought Carlos was the same Carlos. I thought I could have done a better job calling pitches. I thought I made a couple bad decisions. That's my fault. I got to read the game better. But I thought he executed everything I asked of him. He kept us in the ball game, and we got to go out and score more runs for him. He's been, for him to go out there and pitch into the 6th inning was huge for us. When our starters give us length, that saves our bullpen and it's going to help us in the future. But I thought Carlos did everything we asked of him today.
Okay.
Thanks.